Phew! Another glorious sweat. That smells how you know the training's done. Right. Next, a bath, then chow.
Saphir, pardon me, but we simply must do something about that vulgar tongue of yours.
Hey, Panette. What's all that now?
Though we hail from different countries, we are both employed in the service of royals. In our position, one must act and speak unimpeachably at all times.
Unimpeachably, huh? Well, I've talked this way my whole life. Feels like I'd remember it being a problem.
Oh, but don't you see? A knight's bearing speaks to the bearing of her nation. If she makes even the smallest misstep, it may linger as a national mark of shame.
Is that right? So you're saying if I act how I please, folks will get the wrong idea about my whole kingdom?
Precisely so. I am glad you appreciate the gravity of the situation. But never fear, dearest Saphir. I shall give you a master class in proper speech and manners.
Okay. Is that good?
Indeed. I will begin planning. Prepare to learn like your life depends on it.
How much longer do I gotta do this kneeling crap?
Language. Try again.
At what length did my lady say I'm to continue this kneeling crap?
Only 1 hour longer. Any courtier worth her salt must be able to kneel for at least that time.
An hour? An hour, you say? Indeed? That's fine. Only my back's on fire now. Legs went numb ages ago. Forget it! I'm done! Only combat's allowed to be this exhausting. Sorry, but I'm gonna call it here. This stuff isn't for me. My kingdom will have to make do with my strength. They're not getting manners.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. If it tests your endurance, then it must be useful training, no? Here I thought you were made of sterner stuff.
Come on.
The Saphir I know would never throw in the towel midway through training. Perhaps I had you mixed up with another, more tenacious gray-haired beauty. My mistake.
Oh, fine! You made your point. I'll keep going. No way am I gonna quit after you bring training into it like that.
Good. I would expect nothing less.
Let it never be said that I didn't fight to the bitter end. I'm gonna get so prim and proper so fast it's gonna make your head spin.
Astounding! 2 entire hours of kneeling. Easily your personal best.
Is that so? For one such as myself, this interval of kneeling is hardly an exertion at all.
Your speech, too, is flawless. I never expected you to make so much progress in so little time. Impressive work, Saphir. I count myself quite proud indeed.
You are gracious to bestow upon me such lavish praise. I am truly flattered and glad to have figured all that stuff out so I can finally go back to talking like normal.
What? But why? We have hardly scratched the surface.
Listen, I get that manners are important now, but I only needed a handle on the basics. Now that I've got it, I can focus on serving my kingdom in the way I'm best suited.
I suppose that makes a kind of sense.
You've taught me something valuable. Trust me, I'm not gonna throw it away. I'll make an even better knight now that I know how not to be an embarrassment.
Well, it seems my lofty estimation of you was exactly on point. Perhaps I ought to follow your example. You know, spend more time training my body.
I'd be happy to give you a few pointers, if you're interested. Fair's fair.
Oh, truly? Imagine my manners combined with a well-knit physique like yours. I would be flawless. All right, Saphir, you have yourself a bargain.
Wondrous, milady. Do be certain to prepare yourself well, however. We're gonna go hard.
Why, of course! I will become so strong that even you kneel at my feet, so to speak. Goldmary, I hear you are quite the chef.
I certainly am. I'm sorry to say, to the chagrin of all lesser cooks, my talent in the kitchen has no equal. I feel the envy of others weighing heavily on me. But I suppose that is the price of greatness.
Marvelous! Well then, being such an expert, might you be willing to teach me?
Maybe. Why?
To my great shame, I know nothing of the culinary arts. As a servant of the royal family, I ought to have some facility in the kitchen, don't you think?
Naturally, but giving you my culinary secrets would mean more competition for me.
I assure you, I do not wish to steal your thunder. All I want is to please the boss.
If it's purely for the crown princess, all right. Out of respect for your devotion, I'll do it. I will gather up the ingredients. Be ready to get started next time we meet.
Thank you. I will not forget this kindness.
Time to begin our cooking lesson, Panette. We are going to roast a chicken.
Marvelous. The boss is quite partial to foul concoctions.
I'm not sure that phrasing makes sense to me, but all right. Here's what we're working with.
I see. So this bird has been roasted and is ready to serve, correct?
What? Of course not. It's absolutely raw. First we'll put in some stuffing, and then we'll roast it. Over fire.
Oh, I see.
We'll use these vegetables for our stuffing. Would you chop them into fine pieces for us?
With gusto.
They're only vegetables, Panette. They don't fight back.
Here comes the finishing strike.
Well, I'd say you've chopped them into complete submission.
Why, thank you, Miss Goldmary. I am happy to chop further if need be.
No, you've been very thorough. If you chop them anymore, we'll be having soup. We should also not be seasoning with splinters from the cutting board, but we'll let that go. Now let's stuff the chicken with the veggies, put it on a skewer, and roast it up nicely.
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes?
Is it ready yet?
We only just put it on the fire.
Thank you ever so much for the cooking lesson, Goldmary. I later made a chicken roast for the boss, following your steps to the letter. She was over the moon, I say. Could not stop singing the dish's praises.
I'm so glad. Could it be that teaching is yet another entry in my absurdly long list of talents? I'm sorry if the pristine quality of my lesson presented a distraction for you while cooking.
No, but there was one issue. The boss did appear to be in some pain as she ate.
That's worrisome.
Yes, there was something hard in the chicken that ground against her teeth. Gristled, perhaps.
Or a chunk of the cutting board. You really must learn to be more careful with the chopping.
Understood.
Despite that, I think my cooking course was quite successful. Wouldn't you agree?
Indeed, it was a rousing success. Thank you for your assistance, my teacher. In fact, thanks to your tutelage, I have already received my first cooking assignment.
You've been given work. As a chef.
The boss found my way of chopping ingredients rather charming, you see. So when the war is over, she will invite some luminaries for a demonstration at Solm Palace.
A demonstration in the palace? For the whole court of the queendom?
I know, isn't it wonderful? I will be sure to tell them that it was you who taught me all I know.
That's a bit, well, there are bound to be serious individuals even in a relaxed court like Solm, so I suppose I'd better help make sure your chopping skill is up to the task.
What? I thought our lessons were finished.
If my name is on this, we will do it right. Shall I tell Princess Tamara that you refused lessons?
No.
Shouldn't you be grateful to have individual instruction from such a gifted teacher?
Yes, Miss Goldmary.
was just what I needed. It's been way too long since we rode together.
Yes, boss. Nothing beats a nice jaunt on Wolfback.
You and I used to go riding practically every night. What happened to those days?
War happened. The world has changed, unfortunately.
Isn't that the truth? And you know, you've mellowed out a lot since those days.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, come on! Remember how we met? You had a bunch of bandits tied to trees and were about to feed them to the wolves.
That was merely to intimidate them. I wasn't actually going to...
And don't get me started on the way you used to talk. You'd say things like, "Feeling hungry, punks? I got a fresh serving of knuckles for you right here."
Why, I beg you to cease this coarse impression.
Don't worry, Panette. I love the old you, but I love the new you too.
The feeling is mutual, boss. Your relentless teasing aside. Boss, when you said I had changed, you were right. I have. But for that, I have you to blame.
Me?
Yes. When we met, I was wild as they come. My home life was rocky, to say the least, and that left me filled with anger. So each day, I would go into town and pick fights with anyone who got on my nerves. Looking back on that time now, I see how pointless it was. Yet that was the only way I knew to cope. Until I met you. Though at first, of course, I assumed you were as wild as I was.
We hit it off right away, huh? Taking out goons by day, riding our wolves by night.
Yes, we were thick as thieves. Little by little, you helped point my rage in a more useful direction.
And men who cut you in line.
That only happened once. I was talking about all the bandits and thieves we fought. You taught me to take all my pent-up, directionless anger and use it for good.
Well, I'm glad. Though, to be honest, that wasn't really intentional.
Yes, I figured as much. Even so, if I had never met you, that rage might have swallowed me whole and spit out a lonely, resentful husk. I could have wasted my life feeling bitter about the hand I was dealt.
Panette, you said that without me, you would have spent your whole life lonely and resentful. But I don't think that's true.
What makes you say that, boss?
Well, you were wild, sure. But your kindness always shone through. Even when we fought the worst of the worst, you didn't try to hurt them. Just stop them. And after our long late-night rides, you took time to feed the wolves, brush their fur. The truth is, I didn't swoop in and put you on the right path. You were already there.
Do you really think that?
Of course. I knew you were a good person. That's why I asked you to become my retainer.
Huh, I remember that day. How surprised I was. I never suspected you were the princess.
You weren't convinced by the princess-like way I begged you? Pretty please, be my retainer!
It just seemed absurd that a royal would want anything to do with a wild girl like me.
Well, I'm glad you agreed in the end. Thanks again for that, Panette.
Boss, please. It is I who should be thanking you.
Oh, come on. You think I don't know how hard you've worked? I know you were worried about embarrassing me or being rude to my family. The rules of royal life are complicated and arbitrary sometimes, if we're being honest. But you took time to study the proper speech and conduct of a retainer.
It was the least I could do to repay your generosity.
Panette, I want you to know something. I will become a queen worthy of your efforts. A queen you can feel proud to serve.
I have no doubt. And for my part, I shall continue to serve you with the utmost zeal.
All right, it's time for our daily singing practice. Today we'll run through the princess's latest composition, Expect a Trifecta. We need to have a performance ready in time for our next rehearsal with her.
Performance ready, you say?
Yes. Something wrong? You seem down.
In truth, I am. I overheard something that bothered me greatly.
Uh-oh. What was it?
Someone called us the Racket of Solm.
Oh, the racket is our singing voices, I take it.
That was my understanding as well.
Ouch. Well, growing up, people always told me I was a terrible singer. But the princess praised my singing voice as unique, so guess I thought I improved.
It was the same for me, to the letter.
Suddenly it seems like we've got our work cut out for us.
Perchance we should sing more quietly?
That might be a good idea.
Then let us begin post haste. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3.
Hey, what's the scuttlebutt?
The what?
You know, our singing practice the other day. Were there any complaints?
Ah, no reason to fret. I have heard nary an ill word.
Phew, I was worried about that. Wait, no, this is all wrong.
What do you mean?
Singing quietly so nobody calls us names? Surely we can aim higher than that. There's no escaping it. We have to get better at singing.
Yes, quite right. To hide our voices in shame, we sully the good name Tamara. If the boss learned of this, she would weep with embarrassment.
No. I couldn't live with myself if I made the princess cry.
Nor I. The question is, how to improve.
Maybe we should ask the princess for advice.
You think so?
But this time, we get serious feedback. None of that unique wolf dung.
A grand idea. By all means, let us press for the full, unvarnished truth.
The princess's singing advice proved a bit, challenging.
Indeed.
Marin, take all that oomph and hold it right under your belly button.
Mystifying. What is oomph and how does one hold it?
The funny thing is, I kinda get it now. When I focus on the spot right below my navel, my singing voice does get steadier.
Though her counsel was nigh inscrutable, you followed it well. Commendable.
Thanks, Panette. And remind me, what was it the princess told you?
She said, you're at a wah wah wah. I need you at a D D D. I was dizzy with confusion. Dizzy, I say. But when I tried to put her advice into action, something unthinkable happened. It worked.
Perfect. Now no one will even think to call us the Racket of Solm.
Certainly not. All across the queendom, we will put smiles on faces.
Instead of holes in eardrums.
At this rate, we may soon be ready to put on a concert.
A concert, huh?
Our listeners will be so mesmerized that they'll call us the Sirens of Solm.
Ooh, that would be incredible. I want people to call me a siren.
Now I'm all a-quiver. Let us resume practicing. Toot sweet.
I agree. We have to get Expecta Trifecta ready for showtime.
Yes, we'll combine our voices into an angelic harmony that does the boss proud. Hello, Pandreo. Have you a moment to spare?
Of course. I always have time for my sister. But first, you've got to tone down the formality.
All right. You see, there's something I've been meaning to ask you.
No, you're still speaking in that highfalutin way.
You don't really expect me to...
Yes, I do. I know you make an effort to sound fancy, but come on. It's only me here. You can drop the silver spoon act around your own brother.
Fine. Why are you working for the church?
That's what you wanted to know, huh?
Dad was a drunk. Mom was a corrupt priest who couldn't be bothered to look after her kids. They were lousy parents. So why would you want to follow in their footsteps, serve their church?
I told you what happened after you left, right? They disappeared.
Yeah, so?
Well, the church's followers needed someone to guide them. That's why I stepped in.
So that's what it was.
I know it's been a while, but if you'd like to come pray with us, you're always welcome.
No, I think I'll pass. I'm done with our parents, and I'm done with their church. I'd sooner drop dead than step foot in that place again.
Fair enough.
How come you've never told me off for running away from home?
Why would I? I was glad you got out when you did.
Huh. I always imagined you'd hold a grudge against me for flying the coop.
Nah, I just wasn't brave enough to do likewise. Wasn't sure I could make it alone. Meanwhile, look at you. A retainer. You struck out on your own and made a life for yourself. I'll bet those parents of ours would be glad to see how well you're doing.
I doubt it. They probably don't care about me one way or another.
Listen, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but I'm not one to keep secrets. Mom and Dad tried to find you.
What? Wolf dung? There's no way.
I was surprised too. Maybe they were just concerned about keeping up appearances. Hard to say. At any rate, that's the truth. I figured you should know.
What am I supposed to do with that? Hey, brother. You praying?
Yes. I'm glad to see you showing your face here.
I've got so many bad memories of this place that I really didn't want to. But this isn't our parents' church anymore. It's yours. So I figured it might be all right to stop by, just for a few minutes.
Well, it's great to have you.
Yeah. So, guess I'll pray real quick. I prayed for peace. And while I was at it, I prayed that our parents are okay, wherever they are.
Good for you, Panette.
What do you think they're doing right now?
No idea. To be honest, I have a feeling they're dead. But who knows? Maybe we'll find them someday. Just like you and I found each other.
Now that we're adults and we have a little distance from everything that happened, I'd like to think we could sit them down and have an honest-to-goodness conversation.
That would be nice. I think they'd be proud of us. Of you, especially. Panette, listen. I need you to survive this war. I can't bear to lose any more of my family.
Duh, I'm not gonna go dying on you. In fact, I'll do you one better. I'll save your priestly hide, too.
Glad to hear it. With the fearsome Panette protecting me, I know I'll be all right.
You know it. You and me, we're gonna survive this thing together.
Did you need something from me, Panette?
Oh, no. Why do you ask?
You have been staring at me for some time.
It's just that for a princess, you seem so, how to put this, composed.
Do I? It seems like a rather ordinary level of composure to me.
Really? But you are not bursting into song or dancing to and fro.
Correct. I do not do those things.
Nor are you running around like a mad wolf or cramming prime rib down your gullet. You are simply standing around. It was so odd, I could not help but stare.
Perhaps you are merely unaccustomed to the standard and expected conduct of royalty.
I have offended you, haven't I? My deepest apologies.
No need for that. I should not be looking for offense in others' customs. It's rather nice to speak with you, actually. My own retainers lack a certain femininity.
Really? I enjoy your company as well.
Good. Then, if it's all right with you, I'd like it very much if we became friends.
Of course, Your Highness. It would be my honor.
Panette? Please explain yourself.
I promised we were going somewhere special. Well, here it is.
When I said that I'd like for us to be friends, I did not realize that would entail visits to ancient, decayed ruins?
Precisely. Doesn't it make your heart quicken?
Excessively so, I'm afraid. I feel as if a vengeful ghost could steal upon us at any moment.
I know. It is ever so charming.
You find it charming. Ghosts. You find the idea of ghosts charming.
Why, of course. I simply adore them.
I suppose I ought to thank you. This place is special to you. For that reason, I appreciate your sharing it with me. Unfortunately, people have a wide variety of tastes.
Oh dear. You are not, by any chance, afraid of ghosts, are you?
I am, in fact, terrified to the very brink of my composure. The stain on the wall like a human silhouette. The handprints on the windows. The stale air. It is only by force of will that I remain here. Conscious. Not screaming. My dignity hangs by one last thread of decorum. The pride I take in my royal office. That thread is about to snap. Yes, it will snap any moment now. Even a princess is only human after all. So, with that, I'm getting out of here!
Good heavens! Princess Ivy, slow down! I cannot tell you how sorry I am for taking you to those ruins.
Please, don't worry about it.
I didn't even think to ask if you were afraid of ghosts. How horribly careless. Please, allow me to atone for my error. Whatever you need done, I will do.
You don't need to atone for anything. I'm fine. I seldom need to go anywhere alone, so I've scarcely felt my new crippling fear of solitude.
What?
The howling wind keeps me awake at night, but I've learned to scream myself into exhaustion. And so what if the creak of a floorboard renders me motionless for hours on end? I don't mind. I have accepted that the lifetime of fear I went through in a single day has scarred me forever.
Oh, you poor woman. I am so very sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I had to tease you a little. I'm fine, Panette, really. I understand that you brought me to that place because you thought it would make me happy. Please don't worry about it ever again.
Don't worry about it. I put you through a terrible ordeal.
Your intention was purely for me to enjoy it, was it not?
Well, yes, but...
That is what matters to me. Thank you.
Oh, all right. If you are certain, do you think, despite this horrible blunder, we might still be friends?
Of course. So long as you tell me where we're going ahead of time from now on. And no more haunted places, please.
Of course. From now on, we stay in the land of the living.
Happy morning, Panette.
Good morning, Yunaka. You seem to be in good spirits, as usual.
Always. It's one of my redeeming qualities.
In point of fact, I have been meaning to ask you about that. Why do you insist on pretending to be cheerful all the time?
You think I'm acting? You think I'm so talented I could keep it up all the time? I'm flattered.
Do not bluff a bluffer. I can tell that this is not your true manner. When I began serving the boss, I had to swap out my own dialect for a more proper one. Since then, I have had a keen ear for others' false tongues.
Takes one to know one, doesn't it? I can't answer your question, though. If I spoiled the mystery, who would you harass with prying questions? My hands are tied.
So be it. Forgive me for probing. But this duplicity, somehow it does not sit right with me.
Uh-huh.
Naka. I cannot help but wonder about your past. I understand wanting to preserve some secrecy, but please, tell me a little about it, won't you?
Okay. My parents abandoned me when I was small. After that, growing up was anything but easy. I don't like thinking about it, and I like talking about it even less.
I am so sorry. I know well the pain of being neglected by one's parents.
You too? Really?
Alas, yes. My father was a hopeless drunk. My mother was always out partying. Who knew that we hailed from such similar backgrounds?
I wouldn't have guessed, but it's reassuring in a way. Maybe I feel a little less alone. Bandits, incoming on our position. I count 9, no, 10.
Thought they could get the jump on us, eh? We'll show them. Listen up, pinheads! If I was you, I'd think twice about messing with me and her. One more step, and we'll turn your intestines into outtestines! Got it?
We're not here to kill anyone. But if you're here to be killed, well, my hands are tied. Hear that? Could be more bandits.
Oh, you goons back for seconds? Huh, ain't often I meet bandits who whine like kitty cats.
Oh, no. Hold up. That actually was a cat. Trixie little hairball set me on edge.
Oh, right you are. What a relief. I must say, Yunaka, I rather enjoy that vicious demeanor you adopt during combat.
I could say the same about you. You're usually so polite, but you really let him have it.
Yes, in moments of danger, I sometimes feel my blood boil as it used to.
I know the feeling. I slip into my old ways sometimes too. As you saw, we do have a lot in common, don't we? But let's keep this our little secret.
Indeed. Which reminds me, I apologize for needling you about the way you speak. Really, it was quite conceited of me. Glass houses and all that.
I get it. Some good came out of it, though. I learned my acnates work, for one thing.
We could practice together, perhaps.
Zappy! Great idea!
You know, I have always meant to ask, what is this zappy business all about?
Oh, well,
Yes?
that's another one of my mysteries. Wouldn't want to spoil it until we know each other better.
Ah, in that case, you give me no choice. I shall see to it that we become the very best of friends.
I have to check that place out, but it's too dangerous to go by myself.
Pardon me, but I couldn't help overhearing. Are you planning a trip somewhere?
Listen to this, Panette. There are rumors about a nearby forest that hides an old mansion.
Oh, I have never heard of this place.
Me neither. I just learned about it. According to local legends, a famous knight lived there. He was a brave and noble warrior who fought as if he would never die. Right up until he died. The very next day, people say the knight's spirit could be seen wandering inside the mansion.
How extraordinary!
Poor guy doesn't know he died. Now he roams his own halls as a shadow of his former self.
Would that not make him a ghost?
Oh, Well, if you want to get all technical about it, then sure.
Why, I should like to see this place for myself. I adore ghosts.
You do? Great! Let's check it out together. That'll be way easier than checking it out all by myself. Even Prince Diamant turned me down, and he's not afraid of anything.
Then pray bring me along. I can think of nothing that would make me happier.
Yes! That settles it. Just don't blame me if you get scared out of your big pointy boots. We made it! We've arrived at the mansion! I'm trembling. My heart is pounding. I've got goosebumps!
Nary a ghost in sight. Let us keep going and explore further.
Whoa, slow down. You don't want to rush this. The ghost could be hiding anywhere.
Oh, really? Like where?
Mwahaha! Why, the ghost could even be right here!
Are you certain? I see nothing.
Oh, never mind. I was just trying to play a little trick on you, Panette. But you didn't even flinch. You must have nerves of pure steel. Anyway, maybe this place isn't haunted after all. I'm happy the mansion part of the rumor held up, but a wandering ghost, I just don't see it.
It is here.
Ah, Panette, that's the spirit. Normally I'd be holding out hope too, but...
No, Amber. It is here.
Oh, I get you. I guess every house does have its own ghost in a poetic way. That's really...
That is not what I meant. It is here, as in there. Look.
Do what now? Whoa, whoa. Whoa! Hey, Panette. I won't tell anyone about that haunted mansion incident if you don't. The rumors didn't say anything about a second perfectly normal mansion being out there.
Yes, and they were not exactly pleased to have company. How mortifying.
I wish that was all. I thought that stuffy guy was the legendary knight. I shook his hand. I already told Prince Diamant. He laughed until he cried. Called me the legendary knucklehead.
The legendary knucklehead, you say? That's not bad.
Oh, fine. Laugh it up. I should learn to keep my big mouth shut. I'm really sorry I dragged you into that mess.
Think nothing of it. I had a rather good time.
You did? Even though we didn't see a ghost?
Yes, well, that was unfortunate. I have a number of interests that other people find strange. Ghosts, for example. You are much the same in that respect. Some might consider you an odd duck, but I like odd ducks.
Huh. That doesn't feel like a compliment.
Why, of course it is.
Oh, well, great. I was worried you regretted it because I was really glad you went with me, Panette. I don't know many people who enjoy chasing rumors and legends and stuff. If you ever need an adventure buddy to check out a legend of your own, just say the word.
I know a legendary spot we can go to.
You do? Where?
A restaurant with very, very spicy food.
Is the food enchanted? Or was it built on an ancient burial ground? Or...
They have a dish called the Tongue Melter. It's so hot, no one has ever finished an entire bowl.
Oh, it's that kind of legend. Well, a legend is a legend. Count me in, and I'll foot the bill. Least I can do.
Huzzah!
Hey, Panette. How's it going?
Quite well, thank you. You appear to be in good health yourself, Etier.
Yep. Good eye.
Huh.
Is something the matter?
Oh, sorry. I'm being rude. Panette, your stylish fashion sense and refined speech are peerless.
Why, thank you. That is most kind.
There's just one problem.
Oh?
You're hiding something.
Whatever do you mean? I assure you I am not.
You carry yourself like a noblewoman, but you are not one. I smell a fake.
Why, that is ludicrous, slanderous even.
So you won't admit it. Fine. If being blunt won't work, I'll have to get sneaky. See you around, Panette.
Good gracious, where did that come from?
Sorry in advance, Panette.
Hey, what the? Who's there? Whoever it is, you got 3 seconds to show yourself before I crack your skull. 3, 2, 1.
Cool it, will you? It's me.
Huh? Etier, what the heck are you doing here? I mean, Etier! How very unexpected!
Got you, Panette. You went and showed your true colors.
Whatever do you mean? I was merely,
Don't bother denying it. All that hoity-toity stuff is just for show. Right then? That was the real you. This noblewoman act is completely phony.
No, I already told you that is simply not true.
What are you so upset about? I didn't mean it in a bad way.
How else could you possibly mean it?
I've got to run, but I'll explain some other time. Take care.
All right. Farewell then.
Hey there, Panette. Sorry for ambushing you the other day.
I must say, you gave me quite a fright.
I didn't do it to be mean. I just wanted to get past that front you put up. And the reason I did it is because, in a sense, I'm the same way.
You mean you are of common birth as well? You were a wild, vulgar runaway who picked fights with anyone who crossed her path?
Not all of that, but here, go ahead and feel my abs.
If you insist. Oh, good gracious me! These are muscles? It feels as if you are smuggling bullion in here.
Yeah, I work out. You know any other noble women with abs like these?
I suspect there's nary a one.
I might look like a lady, but deep down, I'll never be one. You've heard that too, I bet.
Yes, indeed I have.
I knew it! I thought I was the only one in the world with this problem, but now there's two of us. Maybe we can help each other out.
I would like that. Though its start was somewhat unusual, I think this will be a wonderful friendship. Etier and Panette, the rampaging redheads. Heaven help any fool who crosses us.
I got you a gift, since we're gonna be friends and all.
Oh, my, what gorgeous flowers.
They grow in my hometown. They're associated with eccentric ladies and true connections. Seem fitting to mark the start of a friendship between two tough gals like us.
It is as though this breed of flower was made just for us. How very touching.
I think we'll have a lot to learn from each other. Don't you?
Certainly. To start, perhaps you can tell me how you managed that sneak attack? Pardon, Boucheron. Have you a moment to spare?
Of course.
Forgive me if this seems impertinent, but are you the son of a Pyrenees count?
I am.
Marvelous! I wonder if, as a noble, you might deign to do me a favor.
I suppose so. What sort of favor?
Well, as you know, I serve the Crown Princess of Solm. To avoid embarrassing the royal family, I take pains to abide by the rules of high society. Yet, with respect to many noble customs, I remain rather ill at ease. Thus, I would like you to instruct me in the manners and etiquette of your homeland.
Sure, I can do that.
Why, thank you.
I've been curious about Solmic etiquette too. Since we both serve our respective royal families, it might be fun to teach each other.
A splendid idea. There is much to be learned, much to be taught. I can scarcely wait.
Here's to education. When using knives and forks, start from the outside and work your way in.
Understood. Let us see here. Why is Pyrenees food so slippery? It refuses to stay on my fork.
That piece is a bit too large. Use the knife to cut it smaller. It looks more graceful that way.
Smaller pieces. Deuces, this is complicated.
I know you said you were nervous, but I didn't realize how little experience you had here.
Oh, perhaps I ought to drink some water to calm my nerves.
Wait, no! That dish is meant for washing your hands, not to sip from.
How misleading.
How did you manage to eat meals with the Solnick royal family?
I always muddled through by mimicking others.
I suppose there's something to be said for that.
Alas, perhaps proper etiquette is simply beyond my grasp.
Don't give up so easily. Everyone has a hard time learning these things.
In truth, my home life growing up was far from perfect. How arrogant of me, assuming I could pass myself off as a noble.
The way you were raised isn't that important. If you want to learn, I'll teach you. You might make some mistakes here and there, but I'll help you, no matter how long it takes.
Truly?
Of course. Correcting our mistakes is how we learn, after all. Let's try again from the start.
You're quite right. Look at me, hanging my head in defeat. From here on, I shall hold it high. I will not let you down, Boucheron. Before eating, one must sit up straight and pray. Then, the humane customs of Firene dictate that I offer gratitude to the food itself, giving thanks to the plants and animals that compose each meal. What a lovely tradition.
Oh, are you practicing the etiquette we went over the other day?
I am. Please observe. Behold as I expertly wield a knife and fork to conquer this dish. Using the outside utensils first, cutting the food into small pieces. Success.
Oh, congratulations, Panette. You're still a little bit shaky, but this is progress.
Thank you, Boucheron. My studies in etiquette were always marked by desperation. I wished to claw free from my past, but with your tutelage, for the first time, I found it rather pleasant learning about manners. My success is entirely thanks to you.
Oh, no. You worked hard for this. I'm proud of you. I'd say it's my turn now to learn some Solnick etiquette.
What?
Don't tell me you don't remember. We agreed to teach each other our country's ways.
Ah, yes, I remember. Well, Solm is a free-spirited queendom. There is no strict code of conduct for nobles. Rather, it is considered good manners to revel with others, to sing, dance, and be merry. Though, of course, some situations call for a certain amount of propriety.
Oh, that's interesting. Every country has its own customs, but I could see one point of common ground between ours.
Kindness.
Yes, that's the foundation of all etiquette, no matter what country you find yourself in. And when it comes to that, Panette, you earn a perfect score.
As do you, dear Boucheron.
I never would have realized all this if you hadn't brought it up. So, thank you.
And thank you. It seems I am closer and closer to becoming the picture-perfect noblewoman.
By the way, there must be more to etiquette in Solm. I'm eager to learn.
Indeed. Let us continue our education on the art of kindness toward others. Together.
That was incredible!
Yes, learn to strike with that much force, and you are sure to trounce all comers. In truth, I was rather surprised when you asked me for lessons in brawling. I take it you wish to give someone a forceful talking to? A debtor, perhaps?
What? No, nothing like that. I figured that I could lose my weapon when I'm in battle, or get ambushed when I'm not. Just in case, it's best I learn how to hold my own in physical combat.
I see. That is quite shrewd, Divine One. Very well. I shall instruct you in the ancient art of the fisticuffs. How to hone an indomitable spirit. How to repel foes with a mere scowl. There is much I can teach you.
I see. Well, I'm ready to learn.
Good. I will make you into the most fearsome of scrappers. Let us begin. In a brawl, the most crucial blow is the first. Victory oft rests on attacking before your foe. Thus, you must be agile enough to strike with a raptor swiftness.
Be agile. Got it.
That way, even if your enemies do attack first, you will be able to evade their fists.
Makes sense.
Is something the matter, Divine One?
I'm just surprised that a noblewoman like you knows so much about brawling.
I suppose there is no need to obscure the truth. The woman standing before you is not a noble. Why, in time past, she was quite wild indeed.
Really?
Yes, my parents were awful, gallivanting about with nary a thought for their children, so I fled. Before the princess appointed me, I lived a roaming, solitary life. It was then that I learned how to fist fight.
I'm sorry you had to endure all of that.
I'm sorry. If not for running away from that wretched home, I would hardly be who I am.
I see. Well, would you like to tell me more about your past? I think it might help me to hear about your life before you met Princess Tamara.
Why, of course. If my stories of woe can help you, I would be all too happy to share them. Damn. I guess it won't be so easy to find them after all.
Panette? You're up late.
Good evening, Divine One.
What's that letter you're reading?
I employed a Solnic investigator to find my parents. This is her report. Alas, it seems the search has come up empty.
Huh. I thought you said your parents were horrible people.
Yes, well, our conversation made me realize I have some feelings in need of resolution. I thought perhaps now, with the benefits of time, I could speak to them with a cooler head, thus my desire to track them down. Assuming they are still alive, of course.
I'm impressed. It's brave of you to try facing them after all these years. Panette, how about I help find your parents?
Oh, no. I would not dream of such an imposition.
It's the least I can do to repay you for your training. Besides, we've seen our share of dangerous battles together. You, me, the others. We have a connection. We help each other. Let me help you, please.
Very well, then. I will gratefully accept your aid. Truth be told, even if we do not find my parents, I have already found my family. What more do I truly need?
No word on your missing parents today, I take it. Don't lose hope yet. We'll keep looking.
Divine One, I have come to the conclusion that it is time to abandon the search for my parents.
But why?
It is regrettable, but we have searched high and low. There is nothing more to be done. That said, I thank you sincerely. You have been a steadfast companion throughout. Searching for my parents with you has been enjoyable. I hope we can continue on together.
If that's what you want, Panette, then yes. I would like to continue on with you. Always.
I don't understand.
I told you before we had a connection, but it's more than that. I mean, I want us to be more. Please, take this.
That's the Pact Ring.
You're supposed to give it to someone you care for deeply. For me, that's you.
Divine One, I cannot. My parents were once wildly happy with one another. But in time, their relationship soured. People's feelings change. I cannot bear the thought of that happening to us.
That was your past, Panette. You have a whole future ahead of you. Everyone has their ups and downs. You and I too. Good times and otherwise. But you have the agility of a raptor. And now so do I. We can evade anything together.
Over and over again. You astonish me, Divine One. I see I've impressed upon you the importance of agility. But what of the rest of the brawler's art?
Nothing to do with us. So, what do you think? Will you accept this ring?
Yes, I will. Gladly. Stay with me from now until forever.
Of course. I am your partner, and you are mine.
I like the sound of that. I can think of no one I'd rather fight beside. You are the one I truly adore.